Besides me, are there any other people-pleasing women out there? I have become really aware of how much I struggle with this, and even with that awareness, it's still an uphill battle for me. In fact, just last night, I came face to face with it. So I definitely will tell you that story, but first I want to explain what people-pleasing can look like and give you an alternative that leads to a much, much happier life. By the end of this video, you will have 3 specific steps that you can take to start making decisions that are best for you. You will have less stress, less resentment, and you won't even be as critical and judgmental on yourself and everyone around you. So I Googled people pleasing, and an article came up with a list of 7 things. Now listen and see if you do any of these things. Number 1, apologizing for things that are not your fault. Number 2, agreeing with whoever is in front of you. Number 3, finding it extremely hard to say no. Number 4, your sense of self-worth depends on how others see you. Number 5, changing your personality based on who's in front of you or fitting it to meet other people's expectations. Number 6, prioritizing the needs of others over your own every single time. Number 7, hypercritical of yourself and others. Now, it's freaky how much this sounds like the daily battles that I have with myself. I don't think I would have put all of these things under the people-pleasing umbrella. I usually think of people-pleasing probably as trying to act a certain way to please others, but there's a lot more to it than that, as we can see. Seeing this list makes me realize how much people-pleasing can affect our lives as women. Honestly, to the point of feeling a little overwhelmed to try to cover this in one single video. So I'm going to be sticking with number 3, I think it was, the tendency of finding it extremely hard to say no. What I want to boil it down to is the fact that when you're people-pleasing, you are lying. You're lying to yourself, you're lying to everyone else. You're not in integrity with yourself, and you're not giving people the chance to know the real you. You might even start to feel like there is no real you, just the you that does whatever everyone else wants. So let me tell you what happened last night. Earlier this week, I knew I was going to have the evening yesterday kid-free. I had really big plans to get a lot of work done, and I had told my husband that this was my plan. So there I was walking into the house around 5:20 p.m. I had dropped the kids off, and I now had a little bit of time to myself to work until my husband came home. So I did, and then he came home. I said hi, kind of stopped what I was doing. We sat together on the couch to kind of talk about our day, talk about our dinner plans. And during that conversation, he told me that he wanted to go to the grocery store and asked me a few times if I wanted to come with him. He said he would love to hang out with me, and honestly, we were both just really enjoying the conversation. And so I left it open-ended, even though I thought that I probably wanted to get some work done still. We got up from the couch. He was gonna season the steaks. I went into the bedroom and I said, let me see if I can get to a good stopping point, and then we can go to the store together. So off we went, and then when he was done, he came into the room and looked me right in the face and said, be real with me. Do you want to stay home and work while I go to the store? I looked him straight back in the eyes and said without any hesitation, yes. He said that sounded good, asked me if I would start the barbecue while he was gone, and really it was just absolutely no big deal. But I felt on top of the world, not because I was staying home, but because I had my own back, and I was able to say with so much confidence what I wanted. It felt so good, I can't even tell you. And then I, of course, got to then spend the evening exactly how I wanted to. So here's the thing. I didn't feel like I was lying to him before when I was kind of convincing myself to go. I wanted both things. I wanted to go. I wanted to spend time with him, but I knew what I wanted more. And I knew that the only reason I was really thinking about changing my plan was to try to make him happy. I kind of knew once I went off into the room by myself thought about it, I knew that if I went, I would feel stressed out about the work that I wasn't getting done. I'd feel disappointed. And certainly if I kept doing that over time, I surely would feel resentful. So if you struggle with this as much as I do, I have come up with some pointers that might help you get back on track with what you want. First, make decisions when you're alone. Like I said, it took me going back into my room, thinking for a few minutes, and then I was able to have a lot of clarity around what I really wanted. So as people pleasers, it is so hard when we're with someone else to think about ourselves or to even be honest with ourselves. We can easily get caught up in the moment or feel really compelled or even excited at the chance to please someone else. And then the regret or the clarity comes later when we're alone or after the fact. So I strongly encourage you to avoid making decisions in the moment when you're around other people, at least at the beginning, right? We're just breaking out of this people-pleasing tendency. So get yourself alone to make those decisions. Excuse yourself from the conversation or say that you'll need to think about it before you make a decision. Whatever works in the moment, just make that decision when you're alone. Second, be real with yourself. So once you're alone, we want to be able to make the right decision for us. That doesn't mean we don't think about other people. It just means that we are definitely going to factor ourselves into the decision too. This is probably what we haven't been doing. It's really easy for us to think about everyone else. Like, that is not our problem. The problem is that it's almost impossible to ever think about ourselves. So in this moment, by yourself, don't worry so much about everyone else. Just check in with yourself. Take a breath, maybe kind of close your eyes, and just notice what you're thinking and feeling. Look at the big picture and anticipate how this decision might affect you. Acknowledge what your day has been like, what your week has been like, or what's coming up for you in the near future. Ask yourself if saying yes to this will add to your cup or take away from it. Remind yourself that you're alone and the only person to please right now is yourself, and you're gonna do that with some honesty. So dig really deep, dig deep for some real honesty with yourself. Third, be real with others. Once we've come to a decision, it's very freeing to approach others with the same level of honesty that we have just had with ourselves. This means dropping the need to lie or to make excuses or to just make something up. You are letting them in on where you're at, where you're coming from, why you've decided what you've decided. This is how we can experience true connection with other people and potentially have fewer disconnects in the future. As we let people see the real, true us, we will have people in our lives who love us and accept us for who we are, no matter if we're gonna say yes or no. It's really, truly a gift to everyone. So that's it. Those are the three things. Be real with yourself, by yourself, and then be real with others. Our goal in doing this is to strengthen our ability to make decisions that are really truly right for us. There are going to be times when we set our needs aside for others, and there are going to be times when we set others aside to take care of ourselves. Only we can know what's right for us in any given situation, and those decisions are ours to own. My husband asking me to come with him last night isn't something I can blame him for. People are allowed to make requests and ask us for things, just like we're allowed to say no. So their asking cannot be our excuse for doing something against what feels good to us. I'm grateful for my husband's reminder to be real. I wish I hadn't needed it, to be honest with myself and with him, but now, hopefully moving forward, I can be that reminder for myself. And I encourage you to do the same. Start by being real with yourself, by yourself, and it will make it so much easier to be real with everyone else. I give you permission to let the real you come out. Allow honesty and openness with your thoughts and your feelings. And the better we get at doing this, the more we'll get to know ourselves, and love our life. You ladies are awesome. You should be so proud of yourselves, and we will talk again soon.